and gents, welcome. What's up? You know what time it is. It's yours truly. All things covered. Patrick Peterson, Brian McFadden. We just want to remind you, we know you guys watch us, you listen to what we're saying. We love that, but also hit the like and subscribe button, because without you, there is no us. And make sure you tell a friend to go tell a friend to go tell a friend, because we're having some fun. And while we're doing it, we're covering all things. Other news coming from Indy, the Indianapolis Colts just made it known that it will be a legit quarterback competition. Anthony Richardson, who has been the starting quarterback for the last 2 years, will be in a legit competition. So basically saying they're ready to entertain other options. Mount Pat P, I feel some type of way about hearing this, and here's why.
Why?
Because when the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson, number 4 overall, 2 drafts ago, they drafted a player that had only 13 starts at Florida while playing quarterback.
True.
1 start, I think, was his sophomore year, and then 12 his junior year, and they went 6-6, whatever it was, his last year. And even in that 6-6 year, he was very, very up and down. Now, you have to remind yourself about what led to him going number 4. It was more about the potential. He went to Indy, measured in at 6'4", almost 250, ran 4.3 something at quarterback. So, of course, the Colts were like, wow, we can work with that. But, Pat, you know this. If you're drafting a quarterback who was up and down in college, and he only had 13 starts in college football, and he was up and down, he needs time. You got to exercise patience. If we're telling me, if me and you are in the war room and you're saying, Matt, I want him. Pat, he only got 13 starts. Are you ready to be patient with him? You have to. You have to develop a game plan to be patient. But guess what they did, Pat P? Instantly, he became the day 1 starter.
Yep, which was a mistake.
Instantly, he became a day 1 starter. So then his rookie year, he only played 4 games because of injury, right? So basically, he didn't really get a rookie year out of the way. So he still lacked the necessary reps. Second year, he played 11 games because of injuries and bad play because he got benched. So basically, in 2 years, he's only played 15 games, not even a full season. So, Indy, you're basically telling us you're ready to cut ties with him, but you knew this man needed reps. So, I don't understand. First and foremost, he got overdrafted because he ran a fast 40. Let's keep it real.
Yep.
If you overdraft a wide receiver or a linebacker or a DN, you can kind of sweep that under the rug a little bit. But if you overdraft a quarterback, it can really stunt your organization for years, especially if you use a top 5 pick on that said quarterback.
Yep.
So now for the Colts to sit here and say it's a quarterback competition, it should have been a quarterback competition in year 1 when you drafted him, because he needed time to wait and learn from afar. Think about this. Think about how beneficial it was for Bryce Young when he got benched past year in Carolina, when he got a chance to sit and watch. And then when he finally got back in the saddle, he looked totally different.
Yep.
Had a newfound sight of the game. It helped him. You know what I mean? Yep. So when you look at Anthony Richardson, oh, by the way, he didn't play the amount of college ball that Bryce Young played, Jayden Daniels played, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Drake May. All those guys have played way more football than him. This man only had 13 starts. So for the Colts to sit here and say it's a quarterback competition, first and foremost, you mismanaged Anthony Richardson. In my opinion, you stunted his growth. And now because of the growth that you stunted, now you're saying, you know what? Every man for himself now. Right? It doesn't make any sense. And you know what's going to happen? I'm telling you what is going to happen right now, because Joe Flacco is on the roster still. I don't see Joe Flacco being a valuable competition for him. No, Joe Flacco's ready to get back in that car pickup line and picking up the kids from school. So let's keep it
like me.
No question. And playing some golf and being in the car pickup line and playing golf. So you know what's going to happen? The Colts going to go get Daniel Jones on a cheap deal for 1 year. They're going to bring Daniel Jones in there for some type of quarterback competition, and Daniel Jones probably going to win the job. And they're going to keep old Anthony Richardson on the sideline for insurance. That's probably what's going to happen. Either or, it's a bad situation because they mismanaged AR, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad situation. They misdrafted him. They mismanaged him, like you said. With only having 13 starts in college football, I really was never a really big fan of him. You know, I don't really watch college football a ton of college football when I was playing.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm watching LSU, and when he played LSU, I mean, he had an okay. It wasn't like a wow factor game as at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know he got the size, he got the intangibles as far as the speed, the big arm. But for the most part, with that big arm, he don't know where he throwing the ball. He has no area code. It's almost like a golfer,
I say no area.
a long drive champion.
Hey, the coach once told me, Pat P, he said, "What good is running a 4.4 backwards?"
Now, I'm trying to tell you. I mean, he got a very big arm, but it ain't got no area code. Yeah, he's like a long drive champion. You put him on the golf course, play 18 holes, all they can do is drive for show.
No question.
They can't do nothing else. And that is Anthony Richardson, mishap. That's that's what he's missing. Like, he don't have no touch ball. He don't have any eyebrow raising accuracy. You know what I mean? So for him, we know the athletic ability is out of the world.
Yeah.
Like you say, he ran a 4.3, measured at 6'4". He's basically a running back at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what he's playing at quarterback, running back, because at the most part, no defensive coordinator is not afraid of an Anthony Richardson football team.
No.
And I'm sorry to say that, but the Indianapolis Colts definitely misdraft on this pick right here. Not saying that he cannot have a successful career moving forward, but at the end of the day, he had 13 starts in SEC football.
13 starts.
And it was okay 13 starts. It wasn't like he went out there and threw for 4,000 yards. You know what I mean?
There you have it.
50 touchdowns.
Yes.
Like, if it was like that, it would have been okay, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
You know what I mean?
It was
He
average.
had moments when he made
it was 6 and 6.
Huh?
I said it was 6 and 6 his final year there.
That's what I'm saying.
And I understand the team wasn't really, really good, but quarterback control a lot.
Yeah.
And even if you ain't winning a lot of ball games, look at what Jaden Daniels did at LSU. The last 2 years, especially his final year. Yeah, they was kind of up and down.
Especially his final year, because
he was giving you great numbers. He was giving you great numbers. Like, so that's how I don't understand with some of these GMs, Pat Pete. What are you looking at? Like, what are you looking at? And that's the thing. If you're telling me you have a plan in place, that makes one thing. You just gave him the keys, because you can't run away from coaching. And I feel like that's what the Colts are doing now. Instead of running the coaching and saying, this is how we're going to get this young kid better. We can't bail on him. Because think about it like this. If Carolina bailed on Bryce Young when all the outsiders were saying he was a buzz, he was this and that, they would be searching for another quarterback. But guess what Dave Canales is saying now at Indy? We got our guy, so we're going to build around him, because they exercised patience and they gave him another shot.
Yep.
Think about it, because everyone was ready to cut ties with Bryce Young. He too small. He ain't got no fire in his belly. He this, he that. The man just needed to wait. They gave him the keys to the Ferrari too soon. He didn't even have his learner's permit.
Yeah.
You can't get in over Ferrari. You ain't even got your learner's permit. You got to get in one of them Buicks.
Yeah, that's one thing about quarterback. That's that one position that I feel, no matter regardless of where they're picked, unless they really are a transcending type of player, you give them time, man. Like, you don't throw them in the fire right away. Because like you said, by you making that decision this early in their career, it can set your franchise back at least another 3-4 years. So at the end of the day, I want to make sure that this guy, if this is our franchise guy, because most teams, they're looking for a franchise quarterback, right? So if this is our franchise guy, we want to make sure that we put him in the best position possible. Like, we're not trying to rush him out there, feed him to the wolves early to where now he's lacking confidence, don't really understand what to expect, when certain pressures is coming. Like, I hate to say, like, you got to put a crash dummy out there. Like, you really do, because at the end of the day, we're thinking about the future.
The long term.
Exactly.
Pat, when you draft a quarterback in the top 5 or the top 10, he's supposed to be with your organization for at least a decade at the bare minimum. If it go right. At the bare minimum, if it goes right. Look at what the Patriots
100%.
did with Drake May. Patriots were bad last year. But
Yep.
he wasn't a day one starter.
Nope.
They had Jacoby Brissett in there. He had a chance to kind of sit from a veteran. You can say whatever you want to say about Jacoby Brissett, but he's seen a lot of ball. He's seen a lot of football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So then eventually they gave Drake May the keys. He jumped in. He was battle tested. He fought. Now they feel really, really good about him going into year 2. This is all about the Colts, and we see this time and time and again with organizations, and we all jump on the player more so than jumping on the organization for mismanaging the situation when you draft a guy and you know he ain't ready for that type of fire.
Yeah, man.
Period. So let's see exactly how it plays out. But I just didn't like how they handled the situation. I know a lot of viewers might say, well, he's this, he's that. The man had 13 starts, and he wasn't blowing you away what he did at Florida. What makes you think he's going to blow you away in the highest of the highest level, which is the NFL? So shame on the coach for how they handled that situation. Let's see how it play out.